Hi everybody!
Hi!
I'm back.
After a long time we've seen a film all together and therefore all of us here for the review. We are here to review Mr. Strange.
It's Doctor, actually.
Mr. Doctor.
Strange.
Maybe. Who am I to judge?
This is one of the most hilarious sequences in the film. And
It took place during the most serious fight sequence in the entire movie.
It was an amazing movie.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I think up till first half, it's one of the best first halves that I've seen. And the second half isn't bad either, but not as good as the first. But just loved the film.
Okay, so basically it was about a gifted neurosurgeon who suddenly meets with an accident and can't really function properly. So basically his hands are shaking and he can't perform and do the things he used to do before.
And so, trying on his path to heal himself, he's upset because he thinks if he was healing himself or treating himself, he could have done a better job. So, after exhausting, all Western medical techniques and everything, and while he's at the end of his resources in terms of money and everything, he spends the last few amounts he has left. And he ends up at a place called Kamal Taj in Nepal, and
that's where he discovers that there is a world that we in the Western world don't know. As Tilda Swinton later puts it, there's a certain keyhole we view the world with, and of course we keep trying to widen the keyhole, but it is a keyhole at the end of the day, and there is much that lies beyond. I think important to note also that Benedict Cumberbatch, who's of course the gifted neurosurgeon, is also this one arrogant, cocky guy, very fond of his boy toys and his watches and his fancy sports car and everything, very full of himself. There's a relationship happening with Rachel McAdams at the hospital as well, and it's very one-sided in a lot of ways. And then when he lands up at this place of ancient healing and mystic arts, he meets Chiwetel Ejiofor, who plays a very similar questioning role to the one he does in 2012, the movie 2012. He has a very similar role here in terms of the guy who's the conscience, etc. Tilda Swinton is the ancient one, the master sorcerer. Benedict Wong has a good role as well. And I thought Mads Mikkelsen was great.
Yeah.
He's the villain, Keselius or something like that is his name, and he was just excellent here. As he was in Casino Royale, you remember him as the bad guy there too. And every superhero movie in a lot of ways is kind of as good as the villain, right?
Yeah.
It's not just about the hero, it's about the villain.
Exactly.
And the first half was just sensational.
It was
right?
loads of.
Why do you think the second half wasn't as good as the first?
For me, the first half was just, I just liked it better. It was faster, it was funnier. And in the second half, as they went deeper into the plot and towards the resolution of the movie, it just got confusing. It's like one of those interstellar endings where you don't really know what's happening, but you still like it because it's new and interesting. So, yeah.
You?
Could have been better.
I really liked how I liked the first half. I'm gonna agree with him. How it was more funny, more easy to follow. It wasn't as confusing as the second one. They then just made it a little too confusing of how they fought with the bad guy and what happened with that Dormammu guy. It was
Even
really
the fight with
confusing.
the bad guy was hilarious.
Yes, that was.
I think the important thing is that it does get confusing. You don't understand the rules or the boundaries. You don't understand how one can do what the other can't, etc. What are the parameters with which they are playing, and therefore you just don't understand how one beats the other or what happens. But it's still a great film. It's still a great watch. Performances?
I loved Benedict Cumberbatch. I mean, I've liked him always, even in his TV shows like Sherlock. He came in for a Khan as Khan in Star
The Wrath
Trek.
of Khan.
Yeah, and I've my admiration for him has increased dramatically because he did a really good job in this movie.
I've always liked him. From Sherlock, I really liked him, and now in this movie, I think his look was also quite different and cool. You know, with the mustache and the hair, it was really nice. He acted really well. I loved
And he
it.
handled humor quite well too. I
Very
think there were a lot
Yes.
of people who were not sure about how he could take humor, but I thought the humor sequences really stood
Yeah.
out here
Really.
too. That fun thing with the cape, etc., etc.
Yes.
That's there in the trailer too. The I thought everybody did their roles quite well. Rachel McAdams is
Yes.
great as always, and quite interesting that a character who plays Sherlock gets the woman who played Irene Adler,
in the movie.
you know, in this film. And of course, one of the Avengers is the guy who played Sherlock Holmes. So it's going to get interesting, I think,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
from that perspective. I'm sure there's somebody who thought of this, right? Mads Mikkelsen was the other surprise, I thought. He was
Yeah,
excellent
he was very good.
in his role as the suave villain.
Villain.
So great special effects, excellent humor, superb action, and great acting.
Yes.
Do we need anything else?
You can't really ask for anything else.
Yeah.
No.
I think one of the signs that you have when you know that you're watching a good film
Marvel.
is that the audience groans when the
Yes.
intermission happens.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
here
And that
everybody
happened.
It
It was
was
visibly
loud.
grown.
And I've experienced that after a really, really long time.
and the second sign is when at the end credits people just refuse to get up.
Yeah.
Because in this case they know there's something coming. And we
There
would
is
request
something
you
very special that comes.
to
Yes.
sit back and wait for the credits as well.
And also, I just wanted to add that every single Marvel movie is connected somehow, and I loved how this was connected too.
Yeah.
I
To all
think
of those, to all of
it
you
was
who
so
think
much
that Marvel
better.
movies are very like just here and there, there's a very intricate storyline connecting everything, and there is in this
It
too.
is
It's just
amazing.
brilliant.
That's fun. That's fun too. Rated guys.
I'm gonna rate it an 8 on 10. 8
Wow.
out of 10. I loved it. It was really exciting. Even from the trailer, I was super excited to see it. And the only reason I gave it 8 was, like I said, it was a little confusing at the ends. I didn't really understand a few things, but otherwise, it was an amazing film, so I just loved it.
Same rating. I'm going to give it an 8. But again, for the same reasons, it was such a good first half. Everything was brilliant, and I just feel that the ending could have been a bit clearer or a bit better. I think. What about you?
We are going to make it a unanimous 8 on 10. So, yeah, 8 on 10 is pretty much how I would go as well. Dodgy, weakish second half. I wouldn't say dodgy, weakish second half.
Yeah.
It's been a while
But
since that's been
excellent first half. Just amazing fun. And everybody shines. And it's going to be sold out. So please book your tickets now. It's Doctor Strange, not Mr. All right. See you.